Necesito saber que quienes asesinaron a 4 personas delante de mí lo están pagando. Están ocultos a plena vista en medio de Manhattan. Tenemos que detenerlos.
Me apunto.
Zoe is obsessed with Mueres. She's discovered what she thinks is a pattern in their logo that leads to a downtown Manhattan abandoned building. And it's the only shred of evidence that she has. And she's hell-bent on, she's looked at Google Earth images. She sees trucks going in and out of there. And the problem is nobody believes her. She's been gaslit with all the authorities. So she's really out on a limb, but she's obsessive and she's emboldened. And she's gone from being this socially anxious college student to sort of a femme fatale. So when we meet her at the beginning of this movie, you know, she still plans on going and she plans on flying, but she's had some trauma come back with her and she's afraid to get on that plane. Now, meanwhile, Mueres, they plan for contingencies and they end up, Ben and Zoe end up, you know, Ben, I think his motivation is really one of friendship and one of really caring for Zoe. I think he thinks ultimately it's a dangerous idea to go back into the hornet's nest, but he's really going for her and to try to protect her. She's a bit of a Lois Lane sort of character, you know, she's going right into the fire. And, you know, they get on the road and things start to happen. I just love the idea that trauma informs your perception of the world. And, you know, Ben and Zoe are in a motel room and the ceiling starts to collapse. And, you know, a subway car that everybody can relate to, everybody's been on a bus or a train, you know, can derail and then suddenly pull you back into the game. We really tried to pull the wool around, you know, the idea that the people that you trust, the people that you thought you knew, the people that you maybe thought you saw were succumbed to violence. Like there's a lot of gags in this movie, a lot of twists that sort of speaks to this idea that everything you're seeing might not be real. You know, that the game is everywhere. It's all manipulation. It's all psychology. And so keep your eyes open. Obviously, we have the heart of the movie, which is Ben and Zoe, you know, Logan Miller and Taylor Russell. Then you have Brianna, played by India Moore, who was a social media influencer who was pulled into a devastating game where, you know, she saw everybody get killed in front of her. You know, Brianna is somebody who was on the move and was sort of like a nomadic, you know, traveling the world. And then after their game was literally went into hiding. You know, we have Nate, played by Thomas Cockrell, who was a man of faith, a man of the cloth, who saw, again, he has extreme survivor's guilt from his game. He doesn't understand why God allowed him to survive, and so he's taking that with him. His faith is going to get him in a bit of trouble in this movie as he tries to do things to help the team, but inadvertently going to cause some problems. Rachel, played by Holland Roden, beloved from Teen Wolf. She's sort of like the other alpha in the room. She's going right head to head with Zoe. She thinks that Zoe trying to break the game and trying to cheat is not a way to beat Mueres. You can't outthink them. You can't outsmart them. And she's a bit wily and fun and snarky. And then Carlito Olivero, who we meet on the train, he's super fun. He plays Theo. You know, he had his eardrums burst in a submarine. You know, and he's probably the one who reacts most human and most emotionally to getting pulled back into the game, the way many of us would, which is like to break down into tears. And you know, it's this great sort of ensemble. Everybody brought a real hip, kind of cool vibe, and you know, you get to see them play the game and you sort of locomote through the rooms and do different things in ways that their characters do. So it's like it was sort of like an attempt to really bring a nice, diverse sort of like, here's a cross section of the world that we all know and love into the room with us. I absolutely think Escape Room Tournament of Champions is a theatrical experience. I mean, the rooms themselves are so vast and beautiful and austere and colorful, and you want to see them on a big screen. But beyond that, you know, there's so many Easter eggs, there's so many props, there's so many little things to see on the walls and on the counters, and little things that my production designer snuck in there that the audience can find and talk about. And then also the sound design, the music, Brian Tyler's music, the sound design is just through the roof. It's a movie that is like a roller coaster, and it's best to, you know, experience a roller coaster in a theme park, and a theater is the theme park to see this particular ride.
The sequel of Escape Room starts out with the fact that these people have all been in escape rooms before. The one that was filmed just happened to be Ben and Zoe's. And so this is the all-star version, so to speak. And the escape room of Ben and Zoe was the lone survivor, but all of us had different themes as to why we were pulled into our first escape rooms. Mine happened to be the fact that I can't feel pain, but the other ones had other reasons as well.
Yes, and being, you know, a veteran of these escape rooms, as us all, Ben is coming back for the second installment. You know, the first one was a chance at life being a lone survivor. Now we come together and we are in the Tournament of Champions. Everybody has been in these escape room experiences before without us knowing. They've all endured different experiences. And so now we have to take all of our experiences of dealing with Minos before to try to overtake them and ultimately survive. Well, the first escape room tends to be this subway situation. We're in the New York City subway where you think that you're going to be safe when actually you're not. Minos has taken over part of the New York City subway, you know, right there on the Q train down on Canal Street. You think you might just deal with some kind of weird crazy person, but you're dealing with the ultimate crazy, which is Minos. And so dealing with the elements of the subway system was unbelievable. They had recreated the New York City subway to a fine detail, and it was unbelievable to see them recreate that for our film. Yeah, every turn in Escape Room is one that you have to consider that it could be your demise. And that's the insane thing about Minos. And yeah, no one is safe, and everything could be an added element to another part of their vicious plot. So in the movie, we try our best to take down this giant, crazy, mysterious corporation in a way to try to survive in the best way we can.